and welcome back to Let's Play Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga 2. Last time, we've made it to the 5th layer, and Schrodinger informed us that we've got a very unfortunate obstacle in front of us. Once we pass by this rune, we can no longer turn into our demon forms. Every battle going forward in this area, until we pass by the rune again, that means we have to fight in our human form. Now, I'm going to try and get through this area as painlessly as possible. I'm hoping I have a good supply of wild bombs at this point, because honestly, fighting with guns in this area is not exactly the most fun thing in the world, because, well, there's plenty of enemies that come in that just outright nullify gun damage. These are not one of them. The Palace Athena is probably one of the more desirable things we can run into. We can just chuck the murder rock at these guys, and it almost guaranteed to kill at least one of them, so we can just keep yucking that at them. And I've only got 10 wild bombs to work with, so I better be careful. As you can see, I've got Seraph set up with the dual ring there. Seraph is our best fighter by far, so I may as well just have them go twice in a row every single time. There is another reason I want them on the dual ring, and I definitely passed by a treasure here, which will become apparent when we get further into this layer. This is not the only obstacle we will have to contend with in this layer, and no, I did not miss it. Thankfully, you do not have to worry about not getting AP in this area, even though your characters can't transform. They can still om-nom in this state. Now here's the first instance where the fights get interesting. Mithra nullifies physical attacks, so we cannot defeat him with just our gun skills. I've only got 10 wild bombs to work with. So, throwing out 2 of these, also a valid way to end these encounters. Let's see where that leaves Mithra. Hopefully this kills him. Did not, but I can just throw out basically any other item here. Magni Bomb should do fine. And yeah, that takes care of him. But yeah, that's where it gets annoying, and I don't have many wild bombs to work with, unfortunately. I was rather unlucky with the Gurumikalas. Of course, I just double backed away from the treasure. Alright, our first treasure here is a medical tool ×2. There's another treasure that should be right around the corner here. It is a wild bomb ×3. That'll help us out a little bit with fighting here. You know what, while I'm at it, honestly, unless you're over the levels, just shut off encounters entirely. I'm not sure how much Estoma sprays help, but you know, it can't hurt. And of course, that was waxing 2. Or waning 2, rather. Yeah, unfortunate. So that means I'm just gonna have to throw up another Estoma spray right away. Again, I'm not sure if this actually helps or not, but can't hurt either. Now that we're in the 5th layer, there are 2 special enemies that we can run into. You can run into them in either the 5th layer or the 6th layer. You have a higher chance of running into one of them in the 5th layer, and the other one is much more likely to be encountered in the 6th layer. Both of them are extremely dangerous. Oh hey, another new enemy here. This guy is pretty handy. This is Cert. He drops the power datas, he drops power datas with pretty good odds of doing so also, so very nice when you run into these guys, especially if you have item find set on everybody. Hoping I'll get at least a couple power datas off of them. So yeah, as you can see, Crossfire does pretty good damage here. If you want to, you can set up Seraph with crit boosting abilities, because that can help you out a lot in this area. Oh, you know, I just realized I do not have Resist Fizz set on Seraph. I'm going to have to go over my skill set real quick to see what I can swap out for that, because we really want Resist Fizz here. I do have First Strike on them, but I might set that on Heat instead. Let's see. Yeah, actually, I'm just going to do that. Let's put Resist Fizz onto Seraph, just because Seraph has the most HP and the most defense, so they have good odds of surviving any unfortunate encounters we can get into. And First Strike, what is Heat not using at the moment? He's not using Critical, so he's probably not even going to fight at all throughout the duration of this. Maybe I'll pass to him to have him use Divine Light. Anyways, we really want to come here, because we get an extraordinarily useful ring here at this point. The Shield Ring. This one I'm going to throw on somebody right away. Let's see. We don't need the Divine Ring at the moment, because any Expel magic would just be nullified anyway. So, what does that do? Auto Fizz Repel when battle starts. That is extremely misleading. That is actually Auto Fizz, or Null Fizz, not Fizz Repel. Yeah, it's a little misleading. But still, we, right out of the gate in battles, will come in with a Fizz Shield, so if anything ambushes us and tries to hit us with physical attacks, that'll just end their turns. Very nice. When Crossfire crits the enemy, that is extremely helpful. I'm just gonna I don't think there's anything on the other side of this door that I care about. Let me see. Yeah, this is a dead end. Wasting my time here. Alright. Now that we've got the shield ring. Honestly, if you're going through this on your own, I would only really bother going for the shield ring and then just taking the quickest route out of here instead. Because it's really just not worth the risk to fight all these nasty enemies in human form. I've been having horrible luck and have been mostly running into Mithras, so that's really cutting into my wild bomb supply. The things we really want to be seeing are things like Pallas Athenas, we can run into Barongs. Those things are vulnerable to the Murder Rock, which of course we can use infinitely, so I would be far less concerned about my supplies if we were running into those things. Alright, so we get a wind wall here, and we want to take this door right here, because it'll lead to a good treasure. And yeah, I'm purely just grabbing all these treasure for style points. The best way to handle getting treasure in this area, in all honesty, is to just come back when you're around level 80 or so. Oh, actually, I was totally zoned out here. New enemy, and this is one that we cannot fight right now. We gotta run. This is Arhabaki. He is just like he was in the previous game. He nullifies everything except Ice and Almighty, which he is weak to Ice. We cannot fight him in this state, so we need to run, and oh dear. Well... come on, come on. Okay, that was nasty. Yeah, that power charge bloodbath, oh... that is very dicey, but yes, that is, this area is extremely unfair. There was no way we could fight that guy, but the game decided to throw him at us anyway. Alright, so let's take this HP data here. The next door we want to take is this one right here, because it'll lead us to another treasure. Okay, let me see here. Better, make sure I'm at full health at all times. That encounter there, I ran into Garemi Kala's. Gun skills especially don't work well on him. Okay. Oh, no, wait, that takes us to the end. Alright, I actually gotta double back a bit. I've clearly missed something. Ah, yeah, I see. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna meet you at the actual other treasures. Be right back. As soon as we go through this door. Alright, here we are at the far west door. One thing to note about certs is that if they're the sole enemy left... Oh, jeez. They have a... they will start to use Psycho Rage. Now, I know what you're thinking here with how I'm... Oh, come on. Are you kidding me here? Okay, oof. The reason I don't have Quick Escape set is for some dumb reason, most passives work in human form. Quick Escape, the one passive, that does not. And I have a feeling they made it that way specifically just to make this area harder. Anyways, we get a great chakra that I don't need here. Oh, hey, here is the new enemy that we can run into, Parvati. Huh. Okay. And she has a special item that she can drop. Fortunately, she goes easy on us in this first encounter. Typically, Parvati will always go first. What does she do? She randomly chucks out... Oh, that's very lucky. She randomly chucks out I'm always kind of lost on the way to classify them. She chucks out the second level random hit skills like Tempest, Jupiter's Fury, Explosion, Cold Wave. This is what you absolutely need your elemental resists for. Parvati can totally decimate your team if you are not resistant to the spells that she throws out. Fortunately, in human form, that's kind of a non-issue either way, but it's something to be mindful of. We did not get the item from her. She drops Pinaka, and Pinaka is required to fight a special bonus boss later, so hopefully we get it from her soon enough. Alright, here we are at the next treasure room. This is actually a pretty helpful treasure to pick up. Man, encounters out the wazoo. But from here, we get an olive branch. Very nice. And that is all the treasure in here. Now, I believe I got interrupted the last time I was explaining this, but if you want to get the treasure through here the most effective way possible, just come back when you're like level 80 or so, and at that point, the Stoma Spray will shut off the encounters. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, we made it past the really annoying part. Thankfully, once we pass by that glyph right there, I called it a rune earlier, probably a glyph is a more accurate way to refer to it, we do not have to deal with the human form curse anymore. Thankfully, that is only specific to this layer. We are going to have an arguably more annoying effect to deal with in the next layer, but I am not as concerned about it. Let's just reincarnate these guys out of the way. I have got Seraph set up to be just as optimal as possible in killing things quickly. Reincarnate is one of those ways. I have a huge stock of MP datas at this point, so this is just a very low effort, easy way to get past encounters. Alright, come on to a bit of a unique area here, and save points, so I don't have to do that again, which I was sweating towards the end when I ran out of wild bombs, so I was just like, oh man, the game is totally going to ruin my day here and just force me to go back. Alright, we're going to have Cielo start working on Death Spirit to get Media Rahan. Very nice. Once that's done, I'm going to want Cielo to master Illusion, and then the mantra that comes out after that, and that'll probably be what I want Cielo to have for the rest of the game, really. Alright, let's make our save right here, and continue on. The really annoying and luck-based part of this dungeon is over, or this layer is over. The next section can be very annoying if you're not prepared for it, but we've got Seraph set up for it. So, what does this curse inflict on us this time? Come on, Schrodinger, don't keep me in anticipation here. Huh, what does that mean? Well, that is kind of unhelpful, but what Schrodinger means is that once we pass by this glyph, we will have one less press turn to work with in battle, so we will only have 2 turns to work with. This is why I've got Seraph set up with the dual ring. Seraph is our best fighter by far, and hey, Parvati. Going forward, Parvati will always go first. This is not as bad because we do not have any weaknesses for her to exploit, but it would be very, very dangerous if we did have weaknesses. Thankfully, that is not the case. The other enemy we can run into, though, he does not care about your weaknesses, and he has one attack that if he uses it, and if it crits, that's basically a game over right there. And setting null critical on somebody would not really help. Bolt walls that I don't care about, though there may be a use for them in the near future. And some luck data, very nice. Let's see, we'll throw that on Seraph right now. Also got a bunch of power datas, because I was fortunate. And let's just boost up Heat's strength even more so that he can hit like a Mack truck. Hey, I got some HP datas there. Actually, I absolutely want to use those right away. The more HP we have on Seraph, the better. Once I get Seraph up to about 700 or so HP, that should eliminate the threat of being destroyed in any encounters. Alright, we want to head east from here. Now, these red vortexes that we're going through, they are one way, so now it's blue, that means we can't go through it. So, we want to head this way. Nice, 2 Gurumikalas, I got an HP data and a Wild Bomb. HP datas, don't want to hang on to those, just use them right away. Like I said, save 700 HP, that's probably the safe zone. Going forward, I'm just going to be pumping up Seraph's Vitality above all else. I don't need much more agility and luck. I believe I've mentioned this before, but again, it doesn't hurt to reiterate. Let's see here. Just looking at my item list here, I know there's a medical gear X2. I think this just puts us on the other side of the wall that we could have gotten from taking the other hallway. Yeah, it looks like it. Weird. Oh wait, I don't need to set up the anti-demon field anymore. Alright, now we can actually fight our Habaki fairly, and this is very fortuitous that he's using power charge. Well, maybe not. Never mind. But that's okay. We can defeat him easily with Fufudyne. Now, like the previous game, our Habaki, he can drop vital datas if we're lucky. And I would really like if he dropped one here. Oh, no. Can't always bank on that. But yeah, same as the previous game. And, man, I'm pretty sure there should be a treasure here, shouldn't there? Must be wrong. Oh well, it's not a huge deal. Maybe it's in this room. It is 2 medical gears that I'm looking for. Oh, wait, I think it might be this one. It's very nice when we run into barongs, because then I can just murder rock them to death. Very handy. Okay, yes, here it is. Alright, 2 medical gears we'll never say no to. It's very handy to have those in the absence of Medea Rahan at this point. Off-screen, in my personal file, I have beaten the game's ultimate bonus boss. Also, this route will take us to a dead end, but there's a treasure waiting for us in this central room, so let's just grab that first. But yes, I have defeated the ultimate bonus boss, and I've got the raw video for that recorded, so once we hit the end of this game, I'll be able to commentate that, and oh boy, if you thought the Demi-Fiend was bad, I'm not sure which one is really worst, honestly, but the one in this game, definitely a lot more luck-based, and how long it takes, and just various turns, your survival very, very hinged on luck, and I honestly really hated it, but I persevered. I had a decent enough strategy to carry me through the fight. Now, this area here is actually very surprisingly short. Once we take the correct route, we'll actually be through here in no time at all. So yeah, as you can see, that central room takes us to a bunch of dead ends, so now we gotta start heading this way, again. Executioner is a very good physical move. It is not the absolute strongest physical move in this game anymore. There is one that is stronger than it. And I don't mean Divine Light, I mean as far as just like single target physical skills go in this game, there is one that is stronger than it. That skill would be Godslayer, which is located at the end of one of the physical trees. I can't remember which one offhand, because it doesn't really matter. I do not really care to learn it. Haha, I actually noticed a somewhat amusing error in the localization there. Heat, when he says his pre-battle quote, if you get a first strike and he says his quote, that's still in Japanese. They did not dub a new line for it in this game. Oh, hey, well, may as well show this off. Berserk mode on our Habaki. Makes the fight a lot simpler. Yeah, there he goes. Once you get past his ability to nullify physical attacks, it turns out that he has, like, negative physical defense. Pretty funny. You'll more than likely see that if you freeze him off of Bufudyne, but Berserk mode works just as well. Alright, but yes, to get out of here, we just gotta take that portal, then take this vortex over here. And this should put us right by the end of this area. Let's see. Just want to make sure. Okay, yeah. Want to take this left right here. I got a Hope Diamond off of that Arahabaki, but no vital data. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not quite as reliable to get vital data. Also, we're past it, so we're officially done with the hard part of the layer. Oof, this layer can be pretty nasty if you're not prepared for it. Oh, hey, is this... Yes, finally! I've been waiting for this guy to show up. Here's Jack Frost. He is upset that we finished this quiz, but he gave us a great chakra. Thank you, Jack Frost. But yes, that's what happens when you encounter Jack Frost after you finish the quiz. It's been forever since I've actually encountered him within the midst of an actual recording. Actually, I don't think I've ever did. I always had to grind for him. Alright, so not this hallway. Oh, let's just get this treasure first. Not this hallway, but the one immediately after. Something very important about it. Okay, we got a magic mirror ×2. Very handy there. Might actually need that in the upcoming boss fight, but we'll see. First order of business, Argilla has mastered Progenitor, so she has access to Dia Rahan now. I'm not actually going to set Dia Rahan, because using Medea Rahan through a combo skill isn't really worth it. Instead, let's see. Okay, it's good to know that she doesn't have many ailment skills. That'll actually affect my planning for this upcoming fight. Let's, do I want her on? Yeah, I don't really have anything I care about a huge amount for her. I guess I'll also have her work on Death Spirit. Can't go wrong with having more Medea Rahans around. Alright, let's make a safety save here. Again, it would be horrible to have to do all those cursed areas again. Alright, save there. Let's get into the next hallway. Because we are at the end of this layer, and we are ready to take on the next boss. Alright. First order of business, let's just recover ourselves. Now this hallway right here, this, if you're gonna grind for Pinaka, this is probably the best hallway to do it. Parvati has a good chance of showing up here. You can also run into the other guy who has an item to give us. And also, you have a very good chance of running into certs. So, by extension, good odds of getting power datas as you grind here. Do we run into any certs? No, Giramikalas. But these guys are also good, because of course they can give us HP datas. Now, I'll never say no to more of those. You may notice that there is an offshoot in the hallway there. We're gonna go down that real quick, though there is not much waiting for us at the end of it. Oh, come on. Of course. Yeah, every attack you make in this game seems to have a slightly baked-in chance to miss. Very annoying. Alright, now, the door at the end of this hallway, this is relevant to a side quest later, but great power is holding it shut. If only we had some way to break that power. But yeah, that will be for later. Let's see, can we get Parvati? No. Just another bit of reincarnation, Father. We'll reincarnate. I tend to alternate between the two. Both are, I guess, accurate ways to refer to the attack. But those guys are no match for us. Lovely. Alright, let's get to the doorway, and I'll set up my skills real quick for the boss fight. This is one of the tougher ones we can run into. Alright, we're at the door. Yeah, I'll get my skills set up real quick, and be right back. Alright, actually, I just forgot, let's use MP data on Seraph real quick, just in case, but I switched my rings around, got Seraph set up to power up Ice Magic for no particular reason, I just already had Ice Amp set. I've got a Vitality ring on Argilla to boost her HP and defense, and I've got the Amala ring on Heat to make him a little bit better at everything. However, Seraph is going to be doing the bulk of the work in this fight. Oh hey, it's Varian Omega / Colonel Beck. And he is quite insistent that he is actually Colonel Beck. Language, young man. Anyway, here comes the Colonel. Now, thankfully, we do not have to go through the annoying first phase of Ravana again. And yeah, so to start off with, what we're going to do here is we're going to throw up Charge a couple times. Obviously, I can only do it once per turn, so we'll get Mind Charge going on Seraph next. And Ravana, bit of a tricky fight. To start with, he just launches out a bunch of physical attacks, nothing too scary to begin with. However, he has one attack that is really nasty, so we want to be prepared for it. To that end, I definitely want to get as many charges up as possible. And I'm just going to hold off on launching out the Mind Charge Bufudine there. We want to get our HP up to full. I'll stick to 2. I forget if he has access to Deikaja or not. Better to hedge on the, or err on the side of caution in case he does. And there comes Executioner, not too worried about it. Let's hit him with a Bufudine. This should deal some pretty good damage right here. Very nice. Now we're going to pass, get our HP up again. And here I'm going to have Heat use Divine Light. Now, Ravana, he is very resistant to physical attacks, as you can see, but that's essentially a way to get in Debilitate without actually having the Debilitate skill. Anyways, now that we've got him weakened with that, let's throw up the Bufudine. And have Argilla heal us up. And then next turn I'll have Heat throw out another Divine Light. It's very important at this point that you have Force Resist on Argilla if you're bringing her into this fight. Yeah, you keep telling yourself that, buddy. Because Infinite Wind, check out the damage on this. Oof. If she did not resist Force there, that would have been some pretty nasty damage. Alright, what we're gonna do here... So we're actually gonna throw up a Mind Charge here, throw up a Medea Rama. I want to hit him with a Divine Light just to get him down a little bit lower. So do that. If I crit here, then maybe I can attack him again. Nah, no crit. Alright, I am fine with him using Executioner. Now, one skill in particular that I set on Seraph is Null Nerve, just in case the fight gets down to that. Alright, he's getting pretty weak. We'll throw up another Mind Charge here. And throw out another Medea Rama. This is overall not too complicated right now, but we might have gotten... Okay, now here's where it gets a bit trickier. He can throw out Rage. And here comes the multi-targeting magic. We have pretty good odds of dodging at this point, but ooh, that's unfortunate. Heat might die there. Oof. Yeah, Heat's dead. That is okay, though. This is exactly... Oh, magic repel, so yeah, we're just gonna have to spend some time actually recovering from that. Fortunately, this is what we have the revival orb for. We'll throw that out, and... Oh, we got mind charge set up, right? Yeah. Nothing else we can really do on this turn. I guess pass it to Argilla, see what she can do. Yeah, nothing really, so we'll just make diorama. Not that it'll really help. Yeah, restored a little bit of HP on Argilla, but that's it. So yeah, at this point he starts throwing out a bunch of nasty attacks like Maziodyne, or... I was actually really unlucky getting shocked there. Normally that does not happen. Genocide. The main thing to watch for that he can throw out is Tentara Fu. If you get panicked by that, it's really nasty. Alright. He is pretty close to dead, so we're just going to start dumping the Bufudynes to get him over that threshold, and hey, there we go. Overall, not an overly complicated fight if you're prepared for it. If he gets low enough, he can also start using Psycho Rage, which that would be pretty dicey. Alright. And life gain, that'll be handy. And more vitality for Seraph. Now, before we go any farther, we want to get our ring set up properly again, so let's, first order of business, let's get Reincarnate onto Seraph, just in case I need it. I actually am going to keep Bufudyne set, since the two fights where I actually need elemental coverage, that'll suit us just fine. Let's see, oh, and also, before I forget, better get Item Find onto Seraph. Yeah, always lose track of it. Like I said, I would really like it if you could, you know, make presets for your skills. Let's see here. We want to get the Divine Ring onto Argilla, and the Skull Ring onto Heat. There we go. That'll cover me against anything potentially nasty that could happen. For the most part, there is one thing to be very wary of. And in this treasure node right here, get a Lotus Seed, the most valuable plant in the game. Forget how much that sells for, it's close to 300k at max rank, which if you're not max rank at this point, I'd be impressed. You'd have to be very frugal for that to be the case, and also hoarding. Okay, nothing that way. We are now in the 6th layer. Now the 6th layer actually does not have any new enemies in it. Instead, what you can run into is just a smattering of every single enemy from the previous layer. Also, what we can run into is someone very nasty. His name is Narasimha, and he can totally ruin our day if we run into him, because he always goes first, and one of the skills he knows is Ragnarok. He can go twice, and if Ragnarok crits, because it can do that in this game, that's basically game over right there. The only way to really thwart it is if all your characters have about 700 HP and a ton of vitality, which I do not have at this point. Maybe with Life Surge I could get close enough to that point, but Life Surge would take a while to get. Alright. So, let's just take stock of our mantras again, because we'll be ending the video here. Now, the thing I want to do, Cruel Leader is learned, but I don't really care about that. I was just picking something for the sake of picking it. What we really want to work towards is we want Cielo to master Death Spirit. Afterwards, I want him to master Illusion, and then I want him to master the mantra after that, because that is the mantra that has Debilitate, and it'll be very handy to have that on him. Might also work Argilla towards that also for the same reason. And yeah, that's basically it. Not really any mantras I really care to work towards until we get to the bonus bosses, which that'll be more pertinent when we get to them, which is not until after we beat the game, really. But this is where we'll save it and call it a video for the day. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you next time. Next time we will be taking on the final layer, and a very difficult boss. Should be fun. Until next time, see ya.